Welcome to the show, everyone. I am so excited about networking with everybody out there. We're live on Facebook, so hi to everybody out there. Like us and follow us. We're going to share the show later on. My first guest has been on with me once before. I'm so glad we're doing a longer segment today.
Yes, yes.
And I have with me Dr. Tina Huff, and she's the president, and she's also the principal consultant of ACCELERARI. It's the hardest thing in the world to say. ACCELERARI. And want you to tell everybody first a little bit about yourself, what you do, but also what you mean by ACCELERARI.
Well, thank you so much, Carol, for having me back. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
I'm very excited to share with the audience a little bit about what I do. At ACCELERARI Consulting, we help organizations achieve their vision. Our goal is to help people be successful at work. And so everything that we do is geared around that from an HR perspective and also from a leadership and development perspective as well.
Well, before you came on, we did talk a little bit about a couple of things, so I've got to add in something there.
Yes.
Because you also, and a relationship could be anywhere from, your relationships that you have with your family, your loved ones, and your work, people that you work with, right?
Yes.
So you also help in that area too.
Yes, it really is important to me to help individuals be successful by understanding themselves first, what motivates them, understand what unique behaviors drive their success, and then help them through that be able to be their best in their careers, in their leadership, in their relationships at work, their relationships at home. We all have ways in which we interact constantly with people. Over 90% of us are part of teams, and so we have teammates that we're interacting with. And those relationships drive or impede our success.
ACCELERARI. I mean, you have to make it a little hard, right?
Yes.
So, but I want to talk a little bit about you. Number one, you're bilingual, and not when I say bilingual, I mean you speak Spanish fluently.
Yes, hablo español como si fuera de Mexico. I speak Spanish as if I were from Mexico. I grew up in Mexico, actually.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, also you have 30 years of HR experience, and I want to talk a little about that background because this is what brings you to who you are today and how you help people.
Yes. Well, I kind of accidentally fell into human resources. I thought I was going to be working in maybe the nonprofit sector, and found this niche that was really a great fit for me. I love helping set up the structures for people and organizations. I have a lot of years doing that. I love leading initiatives in organizations that help them be successful, whether it's their recruiting process or compensation structure. And most of all, I like focusing on leadership development. A lot of team workshops and leadership workshops that help people continuously grow as individuals in their career and also in the way in which they can be effective in the organization.
Now, when you work with people, first of all, you also are nationwide, and when you work with people, the first call is always a free call to explore. You have to kind of get to know the company.
Yes.
And I do want to ask you, obviously, especially if you are working in their HR department, setting up some of the different organizations of what they need done. Do you go there and meet with them in person? Let's talk about how that works.
Well, it depends on the organization and what their needs are and how urgent they are. I do a lot of on-site visits, and then I also do a lot of work with organizations in their in a remote fashion. So some companies need that remote. Maybe their teams are distributed remotely as well. And for some, it's better to be there on site. So I do whatever is best for the organization.
Now, the phone number to call you is 401-594-0314. You can also check her out on her website. It's ACCELERARI, and I'll spell it out for you. It is ACCELERARI.net.
Thank you.
Okay, now, so you motivate.
Yes.
That's one of the things that you help people in. Accelerate people in. right?
Yes, correct.
Let's ask, how do you do that?
Well, one of the core principles in helping us be successful is understanding ourselves, and knowing how we contribute to the company, understanding what our stresses are, understanding what our needs are in order to be at our very best. And so one of the core contributions that I frequently make in an organization is an assessment for each individual, and then a team workshop. But with the assessment for each individual, an individual coaching session. And it might be a one-time coaching session and then we do a team workshop, or it might be ongoing leadership development for key individuals and targeting the areas of growth for them.
Okay, so, all right. So when you say that you connect with each member in a way that is motivating to them, okay, one-on-one, how do you do that? You have to have that initial consultation with all of them, probably individually? Is that how that works?
Yes, so usually they'll complete an online assessment, and then I schedule a time to meet with them that works for them as an individual. Usually it's a Zoom call, and we walk through their assessment, and in doing so, they learn about themselves, how they operate, what motivates them, what they're interested in, what they need in order to be successful, and how they can set themselves up for success. And we walk through those elements for them individually. Then we come together in a very fun workshop for the group so that the team can get to know each other, understand the dynamics of their team, build out an understanding of how each person contributes, because we each bring gifts to the table that are how we make a difference in the team and in the group. And we usually target that around an initiative the team is working on, or a project, etc. And they then have this takeaway of understanding each other and being able to smooth that trust within the group.
Yeah, well, it's all about that, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
You know, especially when we're talking about people and bringing other people together. Not everybody gets to know somebody on a more personal level, especially when you have a team, and some people have been around forever, some people haven't. But one of the things that you also wanted to talk about was, do you have an environment that you talked about trust right there?
Yes.
And addressing those issues. So what is a key secret to becoming, real quickly, a successful leader?
Well, you need to have a sense of purpose, and that purpose really should be targeted towards individuals outside of yourself. When we have a sense of purpose that is benefiting others, it gives us that long-term push to really use our leadership for the good of those around us and for the organization as well.
So when you're talking about that leader, that's the head honcho?
It can be all the leaders in the organization. We all are leaders in different ways.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I like that you brought that up, because to me that's also very important.
Yes,
it starts at the top, but then, each one of us can bring that to the plate too.
Yes.
And I'm sure if you bring that out of them, which is probably what you do too, is help them recognize that in themselves, that makes all for a better kind of a team.
It absolutely. Each of us plays a significant role, and if we're not able to exercise our leadership abilities within the group in the way that suits us well, we're kind of tampering or keeping ourselves from doing our best.
Absolutely. Now, I'm going to give out her information. First of all, she's rated with the Better Business Bureau. The first call is always a free call to explore, find out what are your goals, where are you at, and then she can find out how she can help you best. 30 years in the HR experience. She's bilingual. I mean, seriously, you said it best. She's from Mexico. And her phone number is 401-594-0314. It's ACCELERARI, and it's ACCELERARI.net.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to keep on going in here because we are live in the room, okay? Okay, so I'm kind of like here.
Perfect.
And I'm going to try What I would like to do is bring this in now
Okay.
instead of
Very
last,
good. Very good.
because I really feel that is important. It almost, I wish was at the way top, but
It's kind of a
okay.
nice segue question into the second. This is what I was hoping would be the focus of the second segment. So
Okay,
that's
good. Okay, so that's gonna come here, and then we'll do, okay. And, okay, so obviously when you are working with each company, does it matter what kind of company, small, large?
Every company.
Every company.
I work with companies as small as 5 people and as large as 3,500 and more, tens of thousands for some companies.
Wow.
And so sometimes they're focused on a particular segment of their group, or sometimes it's the entire company. You know, every organization has different needs.
Yeah, they do. But, and again, it doesn't matter what kind of, you don't have a niche like in that way. No, so it doesn't even matter what kind. Okay. And so has there ever been a company that you've ever worked with where it was completely new to you, but the principles, the core principles of what you do, those are gonna be the same no matter what, right? But you didn't know anything about the company, but you found that, you know, this works in all ways?
I have companies that are in very specific niche areas. And for example, I have one company that has a software and hardware offering for a very unique segment of industry. And they have the exact same needs that an organization in agriculture or manufacturing or the medical field. Everybody needs to be able to get along with others.
And today, we have a lot more teams than ever, right? When I was growing up, I don't remember having those kind of things, and you know, I maybe they were and I didn't even know it.
Yes.
But I just think that now there's more team building than I've ever seen before. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I quoted the statistic of over 90% of us are in some kind of a team at work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So welcome back, everyone. We're talking with Dr. Tina Huff, and she is the principal and president and principal consultant of ACCELERARI, and we're talking a little bit about, you know, motivation, teams.
Yes.
And one of the things that I asked you during the break was, you know, of the types of businesses that you know, companies that you work with. I said, does it matter what kind of company? And you said what?
It really does not. You know, we all have to work with each other, no matter whether we're in agriculture or manufacturing or in a software industry or if we are working in the medical field. We all have challenges and opportunities to move ahead by working well together.
And today we have more team building than ever before.
Yes,
and
yes.
There's also, you come in different areas too, not just team building.
It's truly being able to develop your skills to work well with others and to appreciate what they offer.
And it's kind of coaching. And we're going to talk a little bit about that and why a leader should pursue coaching.
When we start out in this life, we have built-in coaches that guide us along, our mom and dad, and they are working with us constantly to guide our behavior. And as adults, we actually benefit tremendously from having someone who has the clarity, who has the fortitude, and who has the care for us to guide us, give us guidance, ask us challenging questions, and ensure that we are being corrected and guided along as well in our walk. And the best leaders in the world will tell you that they benefit and continuously bring into their life mentors that they believe can coach them along as well.
Does even the best leader,
Yes,
I love doing this, have, you know, bad mojo going on inside that you know, because it could come up periodically for them.
From a psychological perspective, we all have needs and expectations that we have of others. And when those expectations are not met, it brings that stress out. And for some of us, the stress is very obvious, and for others, we can hide it pretty easily, but it's still there. And so understanding those needs and accommodating the way in which we work with others so that those expectations are met can really help us be able to be at our best on a continuous basis.
So when you work with people, you work nationwide. Do you do that virtually, or do you go in or both, or what?
Well, I do what is best for the organization. Typically, the coaching sessions are virtual sessions. That makes it smooth and easy to log in, to find the right spot of time that's going to work well for the individual. And then usually the team sessions are done in person. However, I have a number of teams that are all distributed remotely, and we do a remote team session as well, and it's very successful.
Amazing too,
Yeah.
what can be done. Her phone number is 401-594-0314. ACCELERARI, and it's ACCELERARI.net. I want to go back over here to how does an individual employee impact a business?
When we are under stress, our focus tends to narrow. It becomes difficult to receive guidance and instruction. We tend to not be able to give our best. And so an individual employee under stress is kind of being kept from and keeping themselves from giving their all. On the contrary, an employee that is at their best, doing their best work, is usually someone who's not stressed, who's in the zone, getting their best work done, and really engaged as well and fully committed in the organization.
Now, you're always so nice. So I'm going to bring up, there's also that disgruntled,
yes,
right?
That's right.
There's one in every crowd
Yes.
that may have something to say that's always
Yeah.
causing maybe some negativity
Yes.
within the team.
Yes. Well, sometimes better orienting them so that they have an opportunity to discuss the things that are on their mind, but in a positive way to make a difference and an impact can be a big turnaround for someone like that. Many times they are individuals that see things that could make a difference, and so helping a team capture the good out of that influence, and also managing it so that it's not impacting the team negatively can be a huge benefit to the group.
And when you are dealing with the leader and he knows, as he's got so many people that he has to or she has to manage, right? Do you help them understand how to do that? How to,
Yes, we talk a lot about how to handle difficult conversations at work, because many times that's what is happening with a disgruntled employee. The difficult conversation that we need to have has been, we're dragging our feet on it. Those are hard to do.
Yeah.
And so one of the most popular training sessions that I do is on the techniques of how to do those difficult conversations.
Yeah.
And this is helpful not only with our employees, but our customers and clients and other people in our life that we know we need to talk to about something, and we're dragging our feet to do it.
Most people don't like to conflict. That's the conflict that they don't like.
But what a gift we give to the other person when we take that step and do it right.
I love that. Now, this is a big one. We were just talking about this before you came on today.
Yeah.
What keeps each of us, from accomplishing our full potential? Or what gets in our own way, the motivation that we sometimes lack?
Many times we see the circumstances around us and we think, I'm not doing my best because of X, the environment I'm in, this person I'm having to work with, the circumstances in my life. However, we each have a potential for turning that around to understand what works best for me and how can I change these things that are in my life or how can I better accommodate how I'm reacting to them so that they aren't having that negative influence on me. And instead, I'm setting myself up for success, to be at my very best. I'm enjoying the things that I love to do. I'm delegating the things that are creating stress for me. And so I'm a strong believer in understanding those areas and being knowledgeable about our own selves and about the people around us, the people on our team.
When is the best time for someone to call you?
Now, any time is a good time to start this process with your team. It is especially helpful when you have a new team forming, but a team that's been together for a long time benefits from this as well. We make assumptions many times about each other.
Question, it's the summertime,
Yes,
so
Yes.
it's a tough time here in Arizona.
yes.
A lot of people are hot and they get, slow down, things slow down and things like that. How do you help and motivate when people don't feel like it right now?
Well, an event like this with your group can be very motivating. Everyone wants to have an investment in themselves, and that's what the coaching gives. It gives the gift of investment in each team member on your team. And sometimes the summer months can be an especially great time. You want to let down your hair a bit, or you want to have some team building events with your group, and this is a fabulous way of doing that.
Do you help with setting those up and things like that?
Yes, yes, however needed. So however I can help, I will. And it's one of my favorite things to do. If I could do just the coaching and team building all day long, it would rate like the best day of the year for me.
Right. And I think so much right now, getting coaching, some people think that, I'm not going to do that, right? But how many people have you helped and worked with where at first maybe they weren't, 100% sure, and then they got into it, especially, the owner, the president or whoever it was set this up for them to do,
Yes,
and they were like,
yes.
oh God, I don't need this. But then what happens?
Oh, I worked with a fellow this week, and this is a young professional who's growing in his career. And his first response when he got his assessment results were, I can't believe how accurate this is. It's just spot on. How does this do it? As we spoke, he was so motivated about dealing with his stressors, and it was exciting for me and for him to see how he was going to use this in his work life.
That's awesome. Again, you could call her. Her phone number is 401-594-0314. It's ACCELERARI, ACCELERARI.net.
Thank you.